What's up, legends? Welcome back to the CXO podcast. Today I have a very awesome guest, Mitch Moore. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Mate, thanks very much for giving up your time and coming on the show. I'm very keen to have a good conversation with you about your story. And for a bit of a background for anyone tuning in, if you're a returning guest, welcome back. If you're a new guest, press the big old subscribe button so we can keep pushing content your way. Mitch, I was just sharing before we press record. Mitch and I got into contact because of social media content, which is cool. And the long and the short of it is he did a reel which went absolutely gangbusters, and my wife inboxed it to me as a reel to watch and was like, this is gold, or whatever she said. And dude, you were talking about how it was a few weeks ago I watched it since we started chatting to line this up, but it was basically like Australia's a bit cooked with what people are interested in and what is not okay, right? About certain lifestyles with alcohol, drugs, and living that kind of, lifestyle is widely accepted in a range of professions and things. But if you start looking after yourself, eating well, training, trying to get leaner, go to the gym, meditate, and drink some green juice, you're a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah.
Which is something that I experience a lot because, my wife and I have been referred to as health freaks because we look after ourselves. But man, the way I think and feel is amazing. So I want to dig into that about you, man, because you've obviously been at point A and you've moved through to point B. So give us a bit of background, man.
Yeah. So for a solid sort of 5 years, sort of from 21 to 26, I was stuck in that cycle of weekend benders, getting on the bags, drinking, gambling. And that was pretty much what the reel was about. Like, no one seemed to have any concern, but then now sort of stepped out of that and I'm looking after myself. I'm training and doing detoxes and different fasts and that. Everyone's all of a sudden got like this concern, like, oh, don't do that. Like, it's not good for you. 7-day fast, like that can't be good for you. Don't do a detox. And yeah, it's like no one seemed to be worried or concerned when I was, ripping lines at random kitchens at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah,
Mate, it's interesting you bring that up, right? Because I don't know if you saw on my profile, but I spent basically 9 years in frontline policing here in Queensland. So my 20s were police officer, and then now I'm a fitness coach. And seeing people, like my last station was Brisbane City, walking around the city, finding people as the sun comes up when you're on night shift, and you can tell they've just done what you're talking about. They've just done some lines, and now they're on the way to the next venue or to the next house.
yeah,
And it's just like you can see the particularly once they start to sober up, especially if it's in a watch house, like the regret, the headaches, the way they feel and the way they look in their eyes. You can tell it's not a sustainable or healthy way to live.
no,
And so it's fascinating that you say, when people are like trying to look after themselves, how that can be viewed as a bit weird. And
yeah.
I agree with you. It's the complete opposite is true.
Mm.
So, dude, what made you? Was there a trigger? Was there a moment? Was there an event? What happened to make you switch?
Yeah, I remember it. My cousin's 21st. I had a few mates that came as well because my family and my mates were all pretty close knit. And at my cousin's 21st, and that sort of ended, and thought it was a good idea to go back to a mate's place and keep kicking on. And I remember we ordered quite a fair bit of drugs, and a lot of people left, and it was just me and my mate still there. And we ended up going through all of it, and it was like 11 a.m. And I'm like, fuck, I've done it again. And like, this is towards the back end. Like, I wanted to get out of it, but I found myself still getting myself in those situations.
Mm.
I was ignoring my partner's calls all morning. I remember I got home and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, fuck, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, if I keep doing this, I don't know where this is going to end me. Like, relationships is definitely going to end. Like, I was already having arguments with my partner about it. And yeah, I was unhappy. Like, I was like, something has to change. And that was a massive turning point for me, for sure.
Wow. Yeah. And mate, and how awesome that you like, I love that because I often talk about with clients, like who's the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
So like, what's your self-perception when you look and you look yourself from head to toe? It's like, do I look the way I want? Do I feel the way I want? Do I think the way I want? Like,
Definitely.
how am I living? And so I'm glad, dude, I'm actually glad for you that you had that moment in the mirror rather than like a critical event or a health thing or, because dude,
But you hear
driving, like, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've heard of heaps of stories of people who've been like in comas and like that's been their turning point. Like I'm glad it never
yeah,
got to that stage. But yeah, definitely some people it's they can go push it right to the end till they're literally on like their deathbed. So
yeah, yeah. And mate, I'm really interested so you said 21 to 25 years of age.
yep.
That was pretty much life.
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 29 now.
29?
Yep.
Yeah, right. So 4 years working on looking after yourself since then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, to be honest, it was 21, 25, 26, and then like from 27 to sort of 12 months ago, I was still sort of dabbing in it like a little bit.
Sure. Yep.
Like events, like I was still finding myself doing it. I was pulling back a little bit. It
Yeah.
wasn't like the full on, 11 a.m.s, but I was still finding myself there. And I was like, every next day, I was like, fuck, I don't want to do this. Like it was more and more. But yeah, the last sort of 6 months, nothing at all. And then the last 12 months, I've been on a real sort of health journey, which is funny because when I was 21 to 26 in that period that I was talking about, I was still training. Like I was actually a PT. So I was,
Wow.
I was actually coaching people to get in shape and be fit and healthy. But then, and I was full healthy throughout the week. And then as soon as the weekend came, I was blowing that whole pay on just, kicking benders and
Wow.
drink,
Man.
gambling. Like it was.
That is that's unreal. And so you were you an employee as a PT or like were
I
you
ran
running
my
your
own business.
Yep.
Yeah, I ran my own
Dude, that's
personal training.
impressive to keep
Yeah.
up with that
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah. It's funny. I've got a few of the guys on social media because I talk into it a lot now. And they've reached out and said, I didn't even like props, first of all, for speaking out to it, but didn't even, because I don't do the PT anymore, but they're like, didn't even realize it. Like, I don't know how you hid that so well for so long.
Yeah.
You do, like, during the week, I was so good. Like, I was training, I was posting my training and I was training everyone. But yeah, like I said, the weekends would come and it was just threw everything out the window.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And do you know what? Like when you say like when they talk about how you hide it, like there's some pretty clean cut looking individuals that whether they run businesses or work corporate jobs or whatever, that you would not pick that they do that. And it happens every night of the week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, well, mate, bloody stoked to hear that you've moved out of that, man. What are you doing now? Are you still doing PT?
No, I've stopped the PT. So I'm tiling now at the moment.
Cool.
Sort of took on the tiling when COVID hit. That's
sure.
PT took a massive sort of hit then, and I've since stopped the PT and continued the tiling, but looking into sort of starting my own online business in and around that stuff. Helping guys in their 20s break those cycles and show them that you don't have to do that journey alone because it's fucking lonely. I was there. Yeah.
Mate, 100%. It's a massive need. It will always be, right? Because people are chasing an escape, which you probably were, to be fair. Like chasing an escape from whatever. Everyone's got their different thing. Do you know what that was? Do you know what that was? It was.
Well, I think it's back to what
moving into substances.
I think it's back to what we were saying before, like about just the country. Like it's so widely accepted. You don't actually think what you're doing is wrong. Like you're like, oh, everyone else is doing it, so I'll do it. And obviously you get that quick high, you feel good and you're young and you're like, this is awesome. Like you're not really thinking of the long-term sort of effects until, 5-6 years down the track, which is when I started to like, okay, I can't keep up my training like I am now. And that's when I was like, what, something's got to change.
Yeah, mate, That's and so was alcohol a big thing for you as well at that
Alcohol
time?
was definitely that was the trigger. I never did coke or any drugs sober. It was always 2 or 3
Yeah,
beers and then let's get it. And unfortunately, I was in my group of friends. Like I was the guy that would organise it. So like, yeah, Mitch,
sure.
get it. And I had all the contacts, and that was actually one of the biggest things I did was just delete all the contacts. That was something that I kept saying I was going to stop and stop, but then I kept, like I said, for those couple of years, I kept dabbing into it. And
Yeah.
then when I cut the contacts, that's when I was like, if I'm having a few beers now, I can't get it, because I knew to myself that I was the sole reason why a lot of my other mates were doing it too.
Mm. Mate, what a responsibility to carry.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
probably not the context that you want responsibility,
no, not at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
far out. Dude, man, honestly, I'm just stoked for you. Like
yeah,
to
thanks
just,
for that. Yeah,
it's really cool, man, because I've seen both sides of it. Like now I help clients, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whether it's, other addictions, but particularly with their fitness, their discipline, the way they're living their lifestyle. But also having come from policing, like I've just seen so much crap that people have been through
yeah,
around substance and around like addiction. It's just like so sad.
yeah, it is.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah. Man, talk me through fitness. Because the video that I watched
Mm.
was you probably remember your content better than me, but
Yeah,
you were like basically like lying in the sand, and I remember you doing like a front and a side shot, and you were kind of like slumped over, like had a bit of a gut, and you were just like ugh.
yeah,
And then the next one was like you're in the kitchen or something, and there's just had a six pack, and you're looking ripped.
yeah.
So you obviously took yourself through a bit of a transformation process physically and mentally, which may still be happening now. But yeah, give us a bit of an insight, man, because I
Yeah.
love that stuff.
Well, it's funny that you say that. That actually was just recently, over like literally 21 days. I did met up with sorry, I didn't meet up. I reached out to a mate of mine who's a gut health coach, and I said, look, I've obviously been on this journey now with my health and fitness. I feel like I've still got like all this inflammation. I can't seem to get rid of the fat, and it's weird sort of reaching out to someone when that was sort of my expertise at one point, helping people, lose weight and whatnot. But yeah, thought I was doing all the right things, and I was like, I reached out and did a 21-day detox, which was like heaps of like 3-day fasts, and did coffee enemas and saunas, and like fully changed my diet, like vegetarian diet, and yeah, I got crazy results. It was awesome, and now I've actually going to a 7-day fast next week, which is like phase 2. So I'm on a real sort of health journey at the moment,
Wow.
regenerating all the cells. But yeah, it's crazy. Like all the years of sort of destroying my body, it had this effect where I couldn't drop weight. Like my mood was still shit, even though I've stopped doing it. Still
Yeah.
found myself like low energy and shit mood, and yeah, couldn't drop the weight, couldn't build muscle. Testosterone was gone, dopamine level was gone. Even though I'd
Mm-hmm.
stopped it all. And so yeah, I was like, I've got to take it to that next step. I've got to do something. So
Yeah, man. And like even your nutritional habits around spending weekends high would just be cooked. So your metabolic health would be down the
yeah,
drain as well. Like there's so many layers.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything. I did like all these lab tests, and it was like I got the results. I was like, whoa! Imagine what
Yeah.
it was like when I was like in the midst of doing all that. Like how bad it would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy when you sort of step back and look at what I was doing and like how much damage I was actually doing, not actually realizing at the time, but now seeing that I was doing a lot of damage, because even now 12 months later that I've stopped, I still had all those effects like that came up in the tests.
Yeah, man. Wow. Sorry, just went a little bit glitchy there. I was just waiting for the audio to come through. That's wild. And man, good on you for like, I'm actually impressed at how like convicted your tonality is in telling me this, because you've never done it for reference for anyone that's listening. Mitch has never done a podcast before, and he's just like raw dogging it, and just I appreciate your openness, man, because
That's
this
all
will
right.
help someone.
Yeah, for sure.
I said to you before we went online, or maybe I thought it, but we had a tech issue. But the goal for these podcasts isn't that 10,000 people's lives get impacted. It's just that if one person hears one thing that changes the trajectory of their life, that's great.
Definitely.
That's a
Yeah, I
great
love
outcome
that.
of a conversation.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
so, yeah, so like that's just me saying thanks for sharing and being vulnerable, man, because um, there would be, I don't want to sound like a fool and place a number on it, but there'd be tens of thousands of people who could potentially hear this who would have the same problem going on in
Definitely.
the world right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
100%.
know? So, man, 7-day fast. Are you doing
Yeah.
water?
Just
Like,
water.
yeah,
So I've done a few fasts in before. Yeah, I've done a lot of 3-day fasts, but that's with like black coffee and broths and electrolytes and that. This is going to be, 7 days of literally just water and salt. Yeah, I'm
wow.
excited. I'm nervous, but it will be, I've really, since going on this journey, I've really try to step out of my comfort zone and just
Yeah,
roll in with, like, even just coming on this podcast, like I kind of looked at the message, I ummed and ahed, I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I'm like, you know what, just do it. Step into what's uncomfortable, because that's how I've seen the most growth.
man, without a doubt. I know that for me, like, and for anyone that's listening that knows a bit about my story, you'd know, not to make it about me, just a relevant example. Like when I was with QPS, there was the period at the back end of my career before I resigned, when I was trying to build my business, that in my business I was sort of hustling, trying to get it off the ground. But in my career, I was like, I didn't care. I was plateauing and I couldn't wait to leave, but I didn't have the balls to do it yet. And so what that does to, like, not stepping into challenge and growth and leaning into the hard stuff, it just sucks, man.
Mm.
Like it sucks. And so you'll just keep finding, mate, like, that, and you probably know this because you've already put yourself through plenty of challenge. Like it's so fun
Yeah,
when as soon as you get like over the little hard bit, it's like, oh, now it's awesome. And then it's hard again and you got to do it again and again.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's a big thing. Like, being comfortable is probably why a lot of men, and probably why I did it. You know, it's easy to take drugs and it's easy to drink and gamble, and because you're getting those quick like dopamine releases, and it's like what we were saying before, like scrolling. Like you're getting that quick sort of release, and so it's comfortable.
Big time.
Being uncomfortable, it is hard. Like it's not an easy sort of thing to do, because even like that 21-day detox, it was very uncomfortable for me. Didn't
Yeah, it was massive changes, hey.
huge.
Man, and when you think about or talk about the weekend, let's say it's Friday, Saturday, maybe even into Sunday, or some people Sunday nights as well, getting on it, like you're only going 4 days without those highs,
Yeah,
because you like Monday to Thursday, and then Friday you're going to be just peaking, going, "What's tonight, baby? Like
yeah,
we're on again."
literally.
So you'd spend that first, like, every 4 days of the week just like waiting for Friday,
I
and
know.
it's a unfortunate lifestyle for people.
Yeah, and it's social conditioning now. It's like Friday, like oh, it's almost Friday. Like, I speak to people on the job site, and it's like it's Thursday,
Mm.
and you say, "Oh, how you going?" It's like, "Oh, it's Friday tomorrow." Like, it's
Yeah,
just crazy how everyone's like stuck in that cycle. Not saying that those people are going and doing that, but they're doing something to escape
yeah,
that week. And
for
I was
sure.
literally just going through the motions, but not during that period. Monday to Thursday, just get through the week, and then, like you said, get to Friday and you just do it all over again.
Yeah, yeah. And man, what's weekends like now? Because I often talk with people about rest and recovery, their stress to recovery ratios, what they're doing on weekends to recharge and reset, but also just enjoy life and not have the Friday mentality. But there's it's like it's like a different spin. It's like a positive element of saying, like, not like I can't wait to not do the thing that economically provides for me,
Yeah,
but I also get these few days where I can let my hair down and enjoy my relationship or kids or whatever it is.
definitely.
How are weekends different for you now?
I spend a lot more time with my partner, which is good. I go for runs, run with my mates, which is good. It's actually funny that I run with the mates that we used to sort of kick benders with. So I'm grateful that they've all stepped out of it too.
Wow,
So
that's
that's
great.
been it's helped a lot. Definitely, because, like, as you know, like, if your circle of friends are still doing it, it's obviously real hard to sort of break out of that. So
Yeah,
running with them, do that on the weekends. spend time with my partner. Just bought a house, so we spent a lot of time sort of around the house and
Congrats, man.
doing different things. So, yeah, just like you said, just like wind down and relax.
Yeah, rather than going the other way.
Yeah, building my online biz. Yeah, it's good.
Man, so cool to hear.
Yeah,
And dude, how was have you noticed changes in your relationship?
definitely. Yeah, 100%. She was when we first met. We met 5 years ago, and that was when I was sort of in the middle of it, like 25. And yeah, we talk about it now. It's like she jokes around and says, "I don't know how I stayed with you," because it was the same thing. Like she would be literally in bed at home, like waiting for me to come home, and it'd be like, yeah, coming through the door 6 a.m., 7 a.m. There was towards the end, like it was me literally coming home, and she'd be awake or getting up, and like I'd be crying because I was like, why did I do this again? Like, why have I put myself in this situation? So that was, towards the end, that was happening a lot.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, our relationships changed heaps. Like we're, so much happier together, engaged now. So the stuff that I didn't think of that stuff. Bought a house together last year. So these were the things that didn't even cross our mind, or didn't cross my mind, because I was just so stuck in that cycle of hanging out with the boys. Weekends are for the boys. Like it was,
Yeah. And man, that's funny because that's something that comes up a lot as well, with, myself, friends, but also a lot of clients that I work with, is that the relationship dynamic and how, I have these conversations, man, with people about, I do anything for my family, for my kids and my missus. I lay my life down for them. But I'm often asking the other question of, well, let's flip that to a more positive context. Would you get healthy? Would you get off the nose beers? Would you go for a run on the weekends for them? Would you would you show up better? And I think they're the challenging questions because, earning more money, staying at work longer, just grinding, there is an element of that that's hard, but it's also quite repetitive. And I think it's the easy option, but showing up and spending the time and putting effort in can be more difficult. So it's,
sure.
And you've got like time and the desire to do that again, bro. Like imagine, if you just wrote it down on 2 pieces of paper, logically it would make sense. Like, snort coke with friends that just want to do that, or hang out with the person that loves me and that I love.
Yeah,
it's like, I know which one I probably would pick, but I kept leaning into this other thing for so long.
It's crazy. And that's actually what you said, time. That's a big thing as well, like on the weekends. Because instead of, sleeping all day Sunday, trying to recover to be right for Monday work, got that Sunday now where we get up early, go for a run, go for a sauna.
Yes.
Yeah. Do things together, grocery shopping, whatever it is. So go for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah. Mate, I'm interested I work with a lot of business owners. And so I'm interested to hear, like, with alcohol and drugs in your life, and it doesn't matter if it's PT, it doesn't matter what sort of business it is, you've got the pressures and the, like the pressure cooker, so to speak, which is the male brain, that just builds up pressure, and you got to take the lid off to let the pressure out. What was things like stress, anxiety levels, ability to manage operations and finances and stuff in your business when they were in your life?
Yeah, like I was actually really anxious. It's funny that you bring that up, because there was a time where I actually went to hospital twice with my partner because I thought I was having a heart attack. And it was literally just like I went to the cardiologist and everything, tested my heart, like your heart's fine. Like that's just how anxious I was. Like I was having full anxiety attacks where I had to like take myself to the hospital. Like it was crazy. But mentally, like I don't know, you're not thinking straight at all. Like I said, I was just going through the motions. I would, write myself off the weekend, and then during the week when I was PTing that, it was like just getting through it. Like wasn't present at all. Like I look back now, and I definitely wasn't present with them all.
Wow, man, that's Do you know, that's an outcome that can happen to people without drugs and alcohol, is getting so anxious that they end up in hospital.
Yeah.
I've experienced anxiety myself in my lifetime, and those two, like, substances weren't the reason. It was just a high level of stress and pressure on myself. So I can't imagine adding the substance layers in as well. And I'm digging into this because I know there'll be people tuning in who do no beers and get tanked on the weekend
Mm,
and feel these pressures, and live this kind of lifestyle.
definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I know
So
100% there'd be people out there that would be lying there on a Sunday morning and their heart would be like pumping. Like I remember I used to do it sometimes. Like I had to like full calm myself down, be like, "Are you all right? You're all right. Just don't do it again. Don't do it again." Sure enough, next week
yeah,
in the same spot. So,
yeah,
but it definitely, yeah, like it enhances it heaps because you overthink everything, and then you have that, like you said, that massive crash, and
yeah,
then regret comes in, and then the anxiety creeps in more, and then you stress more because you've spent all your money. So then you're like, "Oh, how am I going to pay for rent? How am I going to pay for groceries?" So yeah, all that added stuff,
yeah.
it just piles on.
Yeah, and it's a real short term thinking thing, right? Because you're like, well, I'll sort that out this week to pay those bills, and then Friday it's with the boys again, and then I'm going to have that same problem on one Monday or Tuesday next week.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, sucks, man.
No,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I would like work out in my head. Okay, I need this amount for a bag. I need this amount for drinks this weekend. Got okay,
yeah,
put this away. I'll pay my bills now, and now what I've got left, I'll just blow it all. And that was
wow,
the mindset I was in. Like it was bad.
yeah, man. It's interesting you talk about, like, um, before you said, with Friday with the boys. I'd love to dig into. So I kind of, just for a little bit of an interjection. When I coach someone, I kind of follow a framework because my brain can get a bit scattered. So I love to follow systems, structures, procedures, and things like that, which is probably why, like, policing helped me a lot, because it was like everything was very like, this is how you do this. And so I kind of took some of that into how I coach. And so I take people through like 5 different parts of a framework to help me understand where they're at and what they need help coaching with. And so one of those things, it's having an action plan, a board of personal directors in your life, a consumables plan, so what you put in your mouth. Your drive is your body, mind, and sleep, and then your exercise. So it's like A, B, C, D, E. So the second one is your board of directors. And that's all about like the people you hang out with, the environments you spend time in, and the tools and resources you have available to help you on your goals and your journey. Let's talk about I want to dig into the negative context for you and how important, like, the people around you are. Because I sort of have that phrase of like, hang around for fat people, become number 5. Hang around for people that do coke on the weekends, become number 5. And it's true, man. Like, your friends used to do coke and now they go running with you. So
Yeah,
obviously you're a great leader, bro.
yeah,
If no one's told you that, you're obviously like a good leader and you have influence.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it definitely plays a huge part. Like your environment. Like if you're, I think a big thing for me was getting out of the physical environment as well. So like the pub, that was like a meeting point for us all. Go to the pub, watch the footy, and then we'd have this conversation. We'd be like, you know what, tonight we're just going to have 2 or 3 drinks. We'll have dinner, we'll watch footy, and then we'll go home. It was the same conversation all the time. And then we'd get there, and again, you're in that environment. Everyone's laughing, like, and other people around you drinking. Before you know it, you're back in it. So yeah, I think environment is definitely it's definitely key. I've actually just become a part of like these group of men as well, which has actually helped me sort of go further into my journey. They're all real like dialed in on their health, and a lot of them live up sort of your way up at Sunny Coast. So being around them as well has been
Amazing.
has helped a lot because they've completely cut all that stuff out of their life too. So I know that if I was to go to the pub, I'd be definitely tempted. Like it was, I'm
Yeah.
only human. The temptation would definitely creep in. So just eliminating those factors is helped heaps.
Totally, man. Mate, you don't have to share if you don't want to, but is that like a mentoring group or a coaching group or some sort of program or something?
Yeah, it's a mentoring group. I suppose you could say. Yep,
Yeah,
real dialed in on health, wealth, and then purpose. So helping men dial in their health, find their purpose again, and then make money.
mate, that's great.
Yeah,
Do you mind sharing what it is, just in case someone else wants
yeah,
to
yeah,
jump on it?
yeah. So it's called Legacy Brotherhood. So
I
the
think I've heard of that.
yeah, you probably have. Like it's been circling around a bit now. There's quite a few of us in it. There's about 100 of us now. So it's growing rapidly, which is cool.
Yeah,
Started about April last year. The founder I actually met at a retreat 6 years ago when I first started the PT stuff. And he sort of was doing a bit of online work with his PT,
yeah,
and he saw that a lot of men were getting their health on track, but then the financial side they were struggling with. So we sort of tied it all in together. Yeah, helping men with their health, building
that's
wealth.
cool, man.
Yep.
I'm listening to you, bro. I'm just pulling it up so I can see because it sounds so familiar. I'm like, I just want to see the person's face that runs it because I'm like, do I? That's really cool,
Yeah, it's
man.
awesome. So
And you go to their page and there's just a bunch of jack dudes on there that look that
yeah,
they're smiling and happy and not like,
yeah.
yeah,
And I got a lot of shit for that too, like joining that, like oh, you've joined a cult, and like, because we're all looking after ourselves. And that was another thing I spoke into. Like, no one seemed to really say anything when. And actually, it's funny. A couple of my mates have joined in as well, so it's cool that we're all sort of on that journey together. And so
yeah,
having that environment is cool.
yeah,
Like they do events every 3 months, pretty physical stuff like training stuff, and learning about money and investing. And so it's hitting sort of all sort of the
mm,
aspects in life, which I suppose is what everyone's like: health, your wealth, your relationships, your purpose. That's what every
totally,
man wants. So bringing that all together, it's an awesome community.
man. They like I've met a lot of people that whether it's through my business or through my old career or through family that have lent into that lifestyle of abusing substances and just really not taking care of themselves or the people around them at all. And you would know this, but and same for anyone listening. the I have no idea on the stats or numbers or percentages, but if you lined up 10 blokes, the amount of those people that choose to continually, actively improve themselves, and whether it's leaning into a community, stopping a substance, going to the gym, going for walks every day, like whatever it is, spending more time with the kids or family, like those really basic, simple, but there's a saying like what's easy to do is also easy not to do.
Yeah,
And so it's like the percentage of people that's part of my mission is to like help men perform better, help them get fit, help them get in shape and think and feel better. So it's cool that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I'm like, here's another bloke that's like, I'm done with doing that stuff and now I want to lean into health and well-being.
yeah, for sure. And you feel the frequency, like I can feel your energy, and you can feel like when you're around people that are sort of stuck in that, like them, you feel that they're unhappy, and they're not depressed, but not happy with how they feel, how they look, or what they're doing
Yeah.
with work. So,
Yeah.
and when you're around a group of men who are, all on this high frequency, like you said, jacked and dialed in with their purpose, like it's good to be around, because I'll come out at all the events. When I go to the events, like it's such a fire under my belly. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And mate, spitballing ideas and life with people that are on that similar trajectory is so healthy and so important. Um,
definitely.
it's like this conversation wouldn't happen or wouldn't really work. We've been talking nonstop for 35 minutes. It just wouldn't happen if there wasn't some alignment.
No, for sure.
And and so just touching on that for listeners, like finding people that are aligned with the direction that you want to go in, even if it feels a bit like scary or whatever. Like Mitch said, he messaged me yesterday or something before this pod and he was like, I'm a little bit nervous. And I was like, the best things happen when it's like nervousness and excitement and they come together. We've been talking 35 minutes nonstop, back and forward, talking about things. And sure, it's like an interview style, but conversations don't work if there's not some alignment. Like they feel very disjointed. And I don't feel like this has been disjointed. So that's like just a true or some truth to what we were just saying about getting around people that are like on that similar path and how much you can, because I've got mates that can't have conversations with people they've never met because it's awkward and they don't know where to go with it. And I think that's where alignment comes in, and where, you know, that similar trajectory is like you have things to talk about that isn't nose beers.
And it's funny that you bring that up because I have conversations now with people who are still in that and still love them for who they are. And that's like everyone's on their own path and journey. But,
sure.
you know, I talk into, you know, the 21-day detox, for example, or the 7-day fast. And it's like they can't wrap their head around. It's like they can't comprehend. Why would you do that?
For sure.
And so, yeah, it's definitely, having alignment with like what you're talking, like when you talk to people is you can definitely feel it if there's no alignment there.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, totally. And man, what's the, if you don't want to share this, that's totally fine. But have you got like a bit of a thought or process that you're sort of working through with helping others? Because I think you might have touched on that before, but
yeah, that's what I'm sort of working on at the moment is building out like a sort of 8-week or 12-week program where I can help men sort of cut the vices, you know, things like developing like a morning routine, just stuff that's like helped me, you know, sort of replace the vices with whether it's running or saunas or, you know, whatever it is. So
yeah,
that's sort of what I'm trying to build out at the moment. Yeah, just and wanting, because I know that I know the pain. Like I still remember the pain of being stuck in it. And if I can help, like you said before, I don't have to help tens of thousands of people. If I can just help one person, you know, change their life, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, man, that's great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like with the fitness background, you better wrap in like positive habits with nutrition, with training, with sleep. Like,
Definitely.
yeah,
That's the goal. Sort of tie everything, tie all my knowledge in together, and rather than just like be just about sort of health and fitness, which I was doing before. Yeah, really dive into those vices and that, because like I said, I was doing the health and fitness stuff, but I was still, you know, doing the benders and coke and drinking, and
yeah,
so if I can help people, cut it all out, I know that then they can be at optimal sort of performance.
yeah, 100%, man. That's so cool, mate. Have you talked with your testing my memory here? You did mention your partner's name before, but it slipped my mind. You're like Tegan. Yep. Have you talked through Tegan? I would love to, if it's okay. The reason I'm asking this is because you and I know that between our audiences, there'll be at least someone that's listening that's in that lifestyle, right? And they will have a partner, whether they're listening and they're male or female, they'll have a partner and they'll be having the same things that Tegan was having, where she's thinking, why am I with this person? My weekends are shit. I'm calling their phone and he's not answering. Like, where is he? What's happening? Is he alive? I'm sure you guys have had some conversations for you moving out of that lifestyle, like about her changes in her day-to-day life and like how her weekends are different. Do you mind sharing some of that? Because that's a compelling reason, bro, for someone to drop these things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, she's a lot happier now. I can see that. It was like had a big burden on her too, because she was always worried. She was constantly concerned. And obviously then I was having those anxiety attacks, and she was like, I can't keep seeing you like this, because me being hurt was essentially, hurting her. So her weekends are so much better now. Like she can relax and wind down and, you know, actually enjoy that time off from work, spending it with me, you know, going for walks and going to the beach, whatever it is. Yeah.
Man, it's such a different lifestyle, honestly.
It is. I joke about it now. Like when we go, like we'll go for a run on a Sunday morning and I'm like, what was I doing? What was I thinking?
For sure. And dude, you're
Mm.
I'll talk about this too with clients and stuff, and even my mates, like what their vision is, what their goals are, and things like that, and try and apply healthy pressure to say like don't plateau again. Let's lean into growth because I really love it and I love the outcomes that it brings, and I love watching and helping others through it too. But with how things like that change for you, like you've said, you engage now, you bought a house, like there's already changes happening, but like when you were in that lifestyle where, and I'm not just talking about Coke and alcohol, I'm just talking about being pretty stagnant, and I mean that
Yep.
respectfully. Like I'm not saying
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
you're an idiot, but I'm saying you were probably plateauing, bro. And now you're like trying to take the steps as I am. It's like trying to grow in whether it's business or work or life. How has that changed? Like the vision that you have that used to be 7 days in advance only, like looking for that next weekend. Now it's down the track, right? Like it's bigger.
Yeah, well, I think just mentally, like I'm just so much clearer now. Like I've actually got time to think about, where I want to go and what I want to do. And we have those conversations, around like buying a house, which we did, getting engaged, which we did. Now we're in the midst of, planning our wedding. So
Awesome.
all those things we wouldn't be doing if I was just, like you said, stagnant and just like trying to just get through the next day because I was just felt like dog shit from the weekend. So
Yeah.
yeah, you just don't have those. You don't have those conversations because you sort of just like push it aside or bury it. And we even did have those when I was going through it, and I was an arsehole. Like I would just kind of push it away because I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with that now. Like,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it another time because I was just so in my head about just trying to get through the next day because I just felt so shit. So yeah, like even little things like we're not having kids yet, but they're planning to have kids soon and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't have been able to do because like I couldn't even look after myself, let alone a child. And these were conversations that we're having. Like Tegan would say, I'm not marrying a man that does this. I don't want my father of my kids to just be doing coke every week.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, and then I was like, wow, like fuck, yeah, I don't want to be doing this either.
Yeah.
Like something's got to change. But also a part of me was like, I'm still young. I've got heaps of time. Like, we're not having kids for ages. Like, we don't need to get married just yet. And that was sort of the conversations we were having. Like, don't worry about a house. Like, we'll get a house soon, and we'll have kids one day, and we'll get married one day. But now we're actually talking about it, getting married, and we'll have kids soon. And so yeah, the conversations has definitely changed a lot.
It's like
which I think then has made her so much happier as well, like what you were saying before, because now she feels that there's a vision there, there's goals to work towards, and not just is Mitch going to make it next weekend, or what's he going to do this weekend, or like what I mean?
Yeah, and dude, even the bank account, like how much is Mitch going to spend?
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. It's funny that you say that. Actually, I was going through. I've gone back to like doing some old tax stuff that I've let sort of. That's another thing. Just things like that, just let slide, and it's sort of built up. And anyway, I've had to sort of go back 5 years to get it on track. And she was going through all my transactions, and we're actually driving home from the snow the other week, and she was doing it all, and she was like, "Wow!" And it was just like sports bet, ATM 300. Fiddler, which is like my local pub, 200, Fiddler 200.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, let's 5 years ago. Let's not talk about it, because she was getting worked up and like she was like, fuck, I can't believe how bad it was.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like, at the time, we didn't, and so we weren't actually having those conversations as much at the time
because it was probably normalized, right? It's just how you were living. It's normal.
Yeah, and I hid it too. Like I had my own separate account. Like I would put money aside in a separate account so that Tegan couldn't see it. So then I would have, and it was selfish, really.
Yeah.
Real selfish. Like,
man, you've got a lot of humility. Hey, like talking through this in like we've never met. So I really appreciate your vulnerability, man, because like I said, that one person that will help. Dude, what would be just a side note for when you end up helping others with this is like running the numbers on what you would spend in a year on that would be phenomenal, bro, because like even just putting those numbers over that 5 year period or something into a compound interest calculator, it might hurt you a little bit, but it's like,
Yeah.
that's the opportunity cost, right?
Definitely.
And like,
yeah, for sure.
life's not over, so you can redirect that. But man, that would be just an unreal. That's something that a mentor of mine got me to do after we met years ago. Was like, how much have you earned in your working career, like basically since you left school, and what have you got? You know, and take off some living expenses, and what have you got? Like, it's all just falling out of the bottom of the bucket, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, I did something similar not that long ago with a mentor of mine too, a money mentor, and we went through it all, and I'm worth, I think it was $1.82 an hour.
And it's just like,
it was crazy.
It's like, wow, all that cash that I spent on.
I know.
And man, you know, I didn't get into drugs. I drank a lot when I was younger, and I smoked for a few years, but and I'm glad I don't now, and I rarely drink now because I just don't like how it makes my brain feel the next day. But even like cars and rims and subwoofers, and I had a Harley Davidson, and just all the stuff that you just like do when you're in your 20s, and it's like, wow, had I redirected that and learned a bit younger. And that's, I think that's why there's alignment for you and I too. It's like helping people that are a little bit younger, or even if they're older, a little bit less wise, and going, let's put all this attention, energy, resources, money that you're putting into this shit, and put it over here into this positive stuff, and just let it grow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
What's the so you're doing I'd love to hear next steps on your health, dude. So 7-day fast, and then where's things going there after that?
You still got
me?
I
gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry,
that's
just
all right.
buffered. What did you say?
Oh, that's all good. So I was talking about next steps. I'd love to hear next steps for your health. So you've got 7-day fasting with water, and then what's coming up?
Yeah, so 7-day fast, and then which is actually phase 2 of this sort of rebuild of my journey, and then phase 3, I don't know what's in store yet. Right. So it's all just down to the coach, Marcelo. So he didn't even tell me about the 7-day fast. He's like, get through the 21-day detox, which is what I did. Then I had like a 10-day sort of refeed period. I was also training for City to Surf, so he didn't want me to get straight into the fast. I needed to pump up a bit for the run. So it was good having a few days off to, not that I was eating shit, but it was just getting more fruits and that into me. And now he called me the other day. He's like, the next thing's a 7-day fast. I'm like, all right, sweet, let's go.
Awesome. So you're going to work through that, or take some time off?
No, I'll keep working. Yeah. I'll keep working. I work with my old man. I told him today I was doing it. He goes, well, as long as you keep working.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'll still do it. It's going to be challenging, but it's, like I said, I've done some 3-day fast before, but that's with broths and like black coffee and that. So this is definitely going to be a challenge.
Be very different.
Yeah. And then I'm not sure what's in store after that, but we go into phase 3, which is another 4-week program. I think it's more around sort of bringing some supplements and that in to restore my gut health, because it's been pretty destroyed from food and drinks, the drugs. So
yeah, for sure.
That's the last phase. I don't think it's anything too hectic. Well, I'm hoping not, but just more of like a sort of, what's the word? Like a rebuild, I've lost the word.
Almost just resetting your systems, man. Like
a sustainable approach after it. Yeah.
Like probably a more long-term vision, like a long-term approach that is sustainable.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Can't water fast forever.
No, definitely not. No.
Wow. That's so cool, man. Mate, I like to recap at the end of I like keeping these under an hour, otherwise people sort of open it and go, oh, that's a bit long. But is there anything, often when you're being asked a lot of questions, there might be little things that have come up that I might have interjected on, like thoughts or questions or anything. Has anything popped up for you that sort of you need to close the loop on? Any thoughts or stuff?
No, not really. I think I've sort of, opened up about everything, probably more than what I thought I was, to be honest.
Mate,
but I think that's a credit to you. Like, I feel comfortable around you. You've made this a pretty, I felt like it's a safe space to, open up and be vulnerable Because I think it's another thing that I've learned, sort of been on this journey now, even just online, like starting to post and that, is just to be like authentic. People will sort of buy into that a lot more. Like if they can see that you're real and you've gone through that, then it's a lot more relatable for people, I
For
think.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah. So I got nothing really to. Yeah, I think I've let everything out.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, dude. And I agree with the authenticity thing. Like, and I think that's around like just getting confident, staring in the camera and talking as you do on your Instagram, and so do I. It's like, man, I look back on the first videos I did, a few years ago, and I was just like, "Hello, my name is John," and it's like so awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of think the camera's like some alien or something, and it's just,
I know it is. It's weird.
man,
That's what I was saying to you actually before we jumped on. I just put a story up then because, like 3 months ago, I actually just went to my followers and said, for the next 30 days, I'm going to get on front of the camera and talk because it's an edge for me and I feel awkward and I feel really weird doing it. So I'm just going to do it, throw back to being uncomfortable again, throw myself out there. Did it for 30 days and now like I'm on here, like I was a little bit nervous at the start, but
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just, it's comfortable now.
man, it's like that analogy of like when you're skydiving. Have you skydived?
I have, yeah, twice.
And you're just sitting in the plane, and then you get on the edge, and there's some dude strapped to your back, and your legs are hanging out, and it's weird, and I should stay in the plane. I shouldn't. Why am I jumping out of this thing? But as soon as you start free falling, it's like this, and it's amazing. And I think that's so related to all of those things we we're just talking about discomfort, whether it's fitness or social media or whatever. It's like as soon as you lean into the discomfort, it's almost like there's this really cool like thing that happens in your brain where it's like another little gateway opens or a neural pathway that's like, that's okay, that's safe, you can do that,
Definitely. Yeah. Yep, for sure. And then that then just becomes that new stuff that was uncomfortable now just becomes comfortable.
Yeah, it's like just normalizing things.
Yeah.
So cool, man. It's great.
Mm.
Well, mate, I'm glad you felt comfortable to share. And like I said, again, I appreciate your time, your vulnerability, and we both of us obviously have that heart that one life would be impacted by this conversation, which would be really beneficial.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Very welcome, mate. And I'll flick you the recording before it goes live, so you can have a watch in case there's anything you want me to chop.
Perfect. Thanks, bro.
Awesome, man. All right. Talk soon.
All right. See you, bro.